Hey everybody, Mike Copera with podcastcondition.com. We are doing the 110th episode of What You Drinking, and we got Chris and Ann. What's going on, guys? How you been?
What up? Good.
Yeah.
Well, shitty week, but
I just realized I went and grabbed all my glasses, and I don't have my beer, so I will be right back like an idiot.
are you foul? You guys can't hear me.
We decided on Death Label, so I'm looking forward to hearing that, but I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves before we get to the beers.
So why was
Can you
it?
hear me, Dan?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
No, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was gonna say no. I can't hear you, Dan. Thanks.
I can hear you.
So why's your week been so shitty?
Oh, boss put in his notice, and probably the best boss I've had and ever. And now my wife's dad is having some ailment issues, and she rushed over to see him. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's going shitty so far. It's downward spiral to the Halloween time.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's never fun news. I mean, is this the guy that you kept going up to Shorts with?
Yeah, that I just went to Shorts with, to the
Yeah.
conference. Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. So, no, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
I hope the new one's as good.
Yeah, we'll see. They've been having, being a local government, they've been having trouble hiring directors in their departments. A couple of them have left in other departments, and they end up backfilling it with some asinine person from another department. And
Right.
What happened?
my
What'd I
boss
miss?
put in his notice, so that's my shitty part of my week. So
That sucks.
yeah,
He's a good dude.
yeah, probably the best boss I've had ever. So
I hate when we lose a good one, because then you never know what you're getting after that.
right, right.
Russian roulette.
Shoot.
So,
All right,
What
so
the-
Halloween's coming up this weekend. We got death beers. Let's see.
I still don't know where you got that from. You said we talked about it, but did you not have that video posted?
Yeah, it's posted, dude. You got to go back. Brandon he did say smoked beers, and then we kind of just.
I didn't wait long enough.
Yeah, I think you got to watch a little bit longer.
I was like
'Cause
close.
then-
It was like a minute left, and I'm like, they're bitching on him because he may bail on him. He said, you guys said, you better show up, and I was like, yeah, that's good enough. Like, I just exited out after that. So
Yeah, after that, we someone said Halloween's coming up, and because we weren't doing the show last week, because O'Boyle and I went and saw Back to the Future 2 in the theaters, which was freaking awesome, especially when you got beers in your hand. I love how theaters sell beers now. It's
yeah,
the way it's always had to be. Like back when I was just getting into craft beer, and you always everyone's got that little pipe dream. Oh, I'm gonna open my own brewery, and all my home brews are the best, so I'm gonna start my own brewery. I wanted to do something called the Viewery, and have brewery with a pub and everything, and then have a theater connected to it, and have play all these different random movies. I thought that was what I was gonna do in the Viewery. So anyways, what you guys bring? Were you able to find a death beer, even though it was short notice when you thought you were have a different style? Or?
mine's a Halloween-ish beer, if you will, and I don't know if about death, but I guess you could die from it, I guess. Because I put the smoked beer in, and then you said no, it's death beer, and I was like, there's some other beer out there. I'm gonna go with it. So I'm going with the triple mashed Dragon's Milk that just came out, it's Reserve.
Oh,
Just heard about
yeah.
that.
So not really death, but Halloween-ish, I guess, with the dragon going on and stuff.
Hey, that's cool, man. I want to hear about that. Where did I just see that? I just heard about it, and
I posted it a few
haven't
weeks
seen
ago. My
I was
brother
gonna
actually sent it to
say.
me. Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Chili.
did you do a video of it or just a picture?
No, it was an article. My brother just texted me, and then I passed it along on Google Plus. I think might have been just in the Michigan community, but I know you remember that too, Michigan beer community. So they came out with the triple mashed coffee, the coffee chocolate variation, a chili version, and
Raspberry.
is it?
Well, it's on the list. I don't know if they put them all out at the same time or not. But...
Yep, they supposedly were, and I
really?
wasn't. Yeah, but I didn't even grab the raspberry. I've got a raspberry, a bomber from a year or two ago.
That's some good stuff.
The chili, been there, done that. I don't really care too much for it. I was interested more in this triple mash, So I'm trying to think. Okay, what's a triple mash? I guess there's 3 mashes they put together. I'm not sure what it is. And then the chocolate coffee one sounds interesting, so I was gonna try that.
That's the one I'm really wanting to get my hands on.
Yeah. This triple mash tastes like a port wine. I mean, it's 14%. It's sweet. It's sticky. It's got that typical vanilla bourbony taste that you get with the Dragon's Milk, but it is just bleh. I said bleh, but I didn't mean bleh like bad. It's just like thick.
Yeah.
It's not like thick like BCBS or something like that. It's like almost, it's not vinous, but it's almost like a port wine thick, just like blah. It's like I could cook with this, and it's like
it's like making its own sauce.
I'm gonna let it warm a little bit because this is pretty cold. It may develop some interesting characteristics. It's not bad at all. It's I guess it's just I guess that's exactly what it is. It's like 3 mashes they put together, I guess, or
I have no idea.
I guess there's a write-up on the back. I should probably read that. That would make. Oh, this is called Double Dragon. Is what they're saying. Double Dragon in quotes is a triple mashed dragon's milk. I'll get some better light in here. Aged in New Holland artesian spirits oak barrels. Sense malt character is paired with the toasted notes of the American white oak, robust yet balanced. Double Dragon is an experience all its own. Blah blah blah. Pairings.
You're gonna get a cease and desist from Capcom.
Yeah.
Or Double Dragon. Nice. Now here's an interesting question though. Are they sourcing their own barrels?
Elbow.
Because they're just setting up a distillery in Grand Rapids now too, aren't they? They've got like it's like that in a tasting room or something like that.
That's what I heard, something like that. Yeah, I don't. My brother also, because I was bitching to my brother a couple weeks ago when I saw him about how my whole conspiracy theory where I don't think they're really aging these in bourbon barrels. Maybe they are, but maybe they're adding some artificial. I know I've talked about this on here. He sent me a link about all their barrels and stuff, and I don't know. It's still just, I mean, even now they're putting these out. It's just hard pressed to understand that they can get that much beer. I've always been told putting beer in barrels is almost, you almost lose money doing it because it sits so long. And they're doing it all year long and then releasing these reserves. They're doing something like this. Doesn't say bourbon barrels. This is spirits oak barrels.
I mean, I'm wondering if they have a contract with either a distillery or somebody that's kind of going through the stock and just handing them, selling them down to them. Because I mean, Goose Island's got their own like bottle warehouse for the bourbon counties, so
but they don't brew it all year long.
Yeah.
They make it all year long, dude. They release it once a year, but they're making that shit all year round. It's an all year product. That's what I mean, though,
is they release it once a year. This stuff, well, the River's was only released. But the regular Dragon's Milks, you can go get it all year long. It's released it's like a regular staple in their beer portfolio, the regular bourbon barrel aged Dragon's Milk.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if, like I said, like you said, if they're putting out that regularly and I don't know. You got me torn now because I love that beer so much, and now I feel like
I'm Mr. Pessimist.
I know, but it's the same thing with me in that chocolate peanut butter porter from Horny Goat out of Wisconsin. I love that shit, and you can get it pretty regularly now. It's like pretty easy to get in cans, but now I read it and it's like ale brewed with like additives or some sort of like something that indicates that it's not truly real ingredients that.
Well, they usually add that peanut powder stuff. So because
that's fine. That's the only way that you should probably make it with it because it's really oily. Otherwise you're trying to brew with a real nut.
Right.
But if it's anything else, I don't know. I guess I never really looked into it. But once I read that on the can, I was like, oh well. Now it kind of ruins it a little for me, so I don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean, if it tastes good, it tastes good, though. I mean, as far as the chocolate goes, you get the same problem. I mean, there's a lot. If you look at straight up cocoa powder, there's a lot of cocoa butter in there. That's all fat. Yeah, that's going to be messing with head retention and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think people can get into that place where they're thinking about their beer more than they're actually just enjoying what's in the can or the bottle or
I agree
the
with that.
glass.
Yeah.
You know, it's just enjoy it, man. I mean, that's the same
Well,
thing with big beer.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it's more of like I just want to make sure I'm not drinking chemicals and shit that they're adding. You know what I mean? If it's like a peanut butter substitute powder, then that's totally fine. That's fine. But I'm making sure there's not just like flavor additives like you would put in like soda or some shit like that.
yeah, yeah. No,
That's where I don't.
Right.
But anyways, what are you drinking, Dan? I don't know if you you know what I have.
yeah, that is Pipeworks the Imperial End of Days.
Nice.
This is
Perfect.
yeah, it is a this sucker was bottled back in April of 2014, so it's had a year and a half in the cellar doing its thing. Fresh. There was a lot more coconut flavor to it right up front. The coconut's kind of died off, and it's not barrel aged, so I'm not exactly sure where the coconut was coming from, except that it's made with well, it's made with a whole bunch of stuff. They use
It's not barrel aged?
no, it's milk stout. So it's an imperial milk stout with cocoa, probably cocoa nibs, vanilla, chilies, and cinnamon. So I'm thinking the cocoa nibs, maybe you're getting a kind of a coconutty flavor from that, but it's died down. That part has died down a little bit. The pepper heat is still there, and it's still a little cold. I think I'm having kind of the same problem with Chris is in that it's not quite up to perfect temperature yet, so I'm losing some of the stuff. But it's held up over a year. It's doing nice in a year and a half. So good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I have one. I have the exact same bottle in my closet. When I don't know how much I should hang on to it. So when it warms up, let me know what you think, and I'll see if it's ready to pop or not.
Okay.
But I took a trip to Michigan last weekend. We took our baby on the first road trip, and it was nice. She actually slept, so we had some lunch at the Stray Dog, and then hit I want to say New Holland, but it was Greenbush for a beer. We actually ran into O'Boyle. He was up there for his anniversary randomly, and we texted that we were at the Stray Dog, and his wife texted me. She's like, "Are you there now? Like, is this current?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "We're staying across from the Stray Dog. We're like at the Tapestry right now having some beers." I was like, "All right, well, we'll be at Greenbush if you want to meet for one later." And she's like, "All right, cool." So we ran into them. I brought home like so much beer. I grabbed a 12-pack variety pack of short beers that I've not had any of them. So it's kind of cool. One of them included the beer I'm having tonight to kind of go with today's theme. This is the Death label right there. It's a black lager called Twist of Cane.
Yep. Good old Danzig.
Yeah, so it's a Danzig song. And the
Nice.
box gave me a good idea. I'm going to do this evening. So there's another beer in here that I've never had. It's a Belgian-style pale ale, or extra pale ale, called Deacon Blues, which is a Steely Dan song.
Yes, it is.
So they claim that you could take half of the bottle of this, half a bottle of the Twist of Cane, and you got yourself a Steely Danzig. So I'm going to see what that tastes like after it's done. So I'm going to have that. And I don't know if that's something that they actually served at the pub or not, but they had the recipe right on the box. So I'm going to do it.
Where did you get those at? Is there a store there in?
Yeah. It's in. Damn it! Where is the? So there's a pharmacy next to a place called Barney's, right where the Stray Dog is. I'm trying to remember what town that is.
Yeah, where's the Stray Dog at? I've never heard of that.
I'll tell you in a second. It's good food and always got a decent beer list. I had Huma there.
Because I've never seen either one of those. I haven't even heard of either one of those shorts beers. That's why.
It's in New Buffalo.
Okay.
It's in New Buffalo, so it's probably about 10 minutes away from Greenbush. And there's a there at the end of the downtown strip. There's a pharmacy and a place called Barney's. And Barney's just expanded. It's like a grocery store, but they kind of moved into the store that was connected to it to put all the beer and the liquor now in one section. So it's they expanded that area pretty well, and they had everything but Huma. So we had to go to the pharmacy to get the Huma, but stocked up. I took a picture. I think I posted it. I can't remember if I put it on Google Plus or not, but it was
You did.
a lot of Bel Air around, a lot of Huma, had some outside ales, pale ale, Citra pale ale. That is great. So you said that one from the Hideout is just okay? I haven't had it yet.
Yeah, that one was all right. It didn't have a lot of. I think that was supposed to be another chocolate or like mocha stout.
No, it's a double IPA.
Oh no, that's. Oh no, you're talking about the one from Tapestry that I got.
No, I was talking about the post that I put up of the beers that I bought, and one of them was from the Hideout, and Chris had mentioned.
Oh, I thought you were talking about because I got the Hideout beer.
Yeah, that's what is it, the Gangster IPA?
Okay.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I never seen it, or I'd never had it, so I was like, all right, I gotta give it a shot.
They just went hog wild this past summer, bottling almost all of their weird named beers. Their Keystone one is their hazelnut stout or porter or brown, something like that, and that one's okay too. I haven't had them all. I've had Gangster. I've had there's another one that has this Gangster flair. It's like a double IPA. They just saw one the other day. They have a tiramisu stout or something like that.
I'm trying to remember if that was there.
I had the cheesecake stout or something. I think I've got one or two of them still in my cellar. They're all solid. None of them are going to be like, oh, this is nasty, but none of them are going to blow you away. Because a couple of them you're like, wow, this sounds phenomenal, and then you drink it and you're like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, that was my experience.
Really good. I'm surprised. This is like the roastiest lager I've ever had.
That's a cane one?
Yeah, Twisted Cane.
The one of their ones that's similar to that I loved by Shorts was Sustenance Black Ale. Mm-hmm. That was really good.
That is a really good one.
Pours black as night, and then you drink it, and you're like, if my eyes were closed, I wouldn't even know this was a black ale.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I know. It's so funny when you look at a beer and you taste it, and it's totally not what you expect. It's really cool.
Drink that. I know you were drinking the Space Rock already, but drink that Citra up too by Oddside if you haven't already.
Oh, dude, I stock up on that shit every time I go to Michigan. That's like the closest thing. That's the closest thing at a reasonable price that you can get. That's just like zombie dust, in my opinion. That shit is right up there.
Oh, you think so? Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it's better. I think it's juicier. I don't think it's.
But that Space Rock though, like I texted you, Chris. It is the weediest smelling beer I've ever had. Like I was like, smell this. It just smells like weed. And my wife was like, Jesus Christ, it is. I was like, what is in this? Because it just says made with like space age nuggets and stuff like that. And I was like, are they making this with weed? This is crazy.
It's got a picture. I never really looked at the six-pack side. Yeah, it's got Joe Short riding his shitty-ass 1975 snowmobile, like, just across space.
His little mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, cracks me up. Actually, they just posted a video on YouTube today that they're doing some events down in, like, Lansing and East Lansing, Michigan.
Really?
He did like a little Mr. Rogers video. It's kind of creepy sounding. Cause like I was the baby was trying to go to sleep and I didn't want to like turn the volume up, so I just turned it as low as I could and I listened to it and I was like, oh man, Joe's creepy sounding when he's trying to do a Mr. Rogers impersonation. But so they're coming downstate a little bit to do some events.
Local Myers now has their ciders for sale. I just noticed that.
Oh, the Star Cut?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Skylar.
Hey, how's it going?
How bad? How you doing,
buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good.
How's work today?
Oh man, it was beautiful. Um, just a really nice day outside. It wasn't hot for once, so it just makes my job like a million times easier when I'm not like this close to heat exhaustion.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great.
Cool.
This is what I brought to the party: Dogfish Head's Grateful Dead American Beauty.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I didn't even have to think it over. I opened my fridge like, oh man, I gotta find like a one that has to do with death, and it's like staring me in the face. I'm like, huh.
That's awesome. Damn it, there was a video I wanted to share. I'm gonna have to do a little searching for it now because it's not in my history. But have you guys ever heard of, or oh, here it is. So I'm gonna play this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. I'm gonna pause it really quick before the actually I'll let the commercials play. But it's a video that I guess it's kind of old, and I'll let you guys give your opinions of it afterwards. But I'll want to hear what Skylar's got to say about the beer he's got there, because I haven't had that one yet, and I've seen.
Yeah.
You know what?
I've seen that.
It's an imperial pale, and I tasted something very familiar in the back of my throat. It wasn't until I read the bottle I was like, oh my god, that's totally what it is. It's brewed with almond honey granola. It's got like this lingering taste of like honey bunches of oats.
Oh man, that's wild.
Interesting.
Nice.
It's really good.
Does it have like a little dude on the label saying doses, doses?
It's just got this skeleton.
There you go. Yeah. Just needs to steal your face in your stud.
Damn.
So let's go.
Have you? Oh yeah. Hang on a second.
Are you drinking it? Are you doing it? Are you doing the Steely Danzig?
Not yet. I'm doing the Deacon Blues right now. I'm doing the other taster of this other half of the beer. So Skylar, you missed what we're doing here. I got my Danzig beer,
Nice.
Twist of Cane, and I've got this Deacon Blues, which is a Steely Dan song, and they say to mix these two together and you get a Steely Danzig. So that's what I'll be having after I have this one. This is actually really good. This is it's a Belgian style extra pale ale. It's it's got a really good smell. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna see. Have Dan and Chris already showed off what they're drinking?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I brought the Imperial End of Days by Pipeworks here in Chicago. It's an Imperial IP or an Imperial stout brewed with cocoa nibs, vanilla, chilies, and cinnamon. So it's been sitting about a year and a half down in the basement. It's pretty good, and it's warming up nicely now. So the pepper's still right there. The heat stood. That's good. It's not too much.
I was hoping that was the part that was going to die down a little bit.
No, I mean, but it's not burning your mouth up or anything. It's pretty subtle. I mean, it's not coming for. It's pretty well balanced. Let's put it that way.
All right. And then, what do you got there, Chris? You want to mention to Skylar what you got?
Yeah, I'm more of a. I'm not into death. I just like I like drinking from the tits of dragons. So I'm drinking the new Triple Mash Special Reserve of Dragon's Milk.
So you're drinking from the teat of death.
Teat, yeah, because I will die if the dragon goes down and see the human sucking from its areola. So, this is the triple mashed. They're calling it on the back of the label Double Dragon. So there are no elbows from the Capcom game. Capcom? Is that who made it? Capcom?
I just pulled that out. I'm not sure if that's really.
I will go with that. I will go with that.
Right.
It's either that or it's what's the other one? The big one. The one. God, I can't think of it now. Starts with an M, isn't it? God, I can't think of it.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, hang on a second. So here's the video. Let me know if it's too loud.
Die Bill Proya.
Yeah, it's not in English.
Should we be hearing something yet?
Helium beer.
Oh, yeah, this
Oh,
came
yeah,
out
I've seen that.
months ago, but I heard it's a joke.
All
It's
right.
not real.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's
You guys
totally
ruined
fake.
it. So I was wondering if it was if you guys knew it was real or not, but it's funny.
It's amusing. It's funny. But
Yeah,
it's
what would happen if you carved your beer with helium?
It's actually impossible. Helium doesn't infuse
Dissolve?
liquids at any temperature that would be possible.
Yeah, that sounds a good thing, yeah.
I did a lot of heavy researching, basically.
Yeah, I heard it's not possible from what I understand.
Yeah.
It would basically there would have to be another gas that was cold enough to be a liquid that then trap helium as a gas, sort of thing, or.
All right, stop this. They're laughing really loud in my ear.
Midway is who I was thinking about, but I don't think they made it.
Oh,
Midway.
Oh yeah, that might be it actually.
Right now.
Yeah, they were saying that in order to do, you wouldn't be able to do what they're doing in the beer. Apparently, apparently that started as a Sam Adams April Fool's Day joke, that they were to do that beer, and then those guys kind of made that video making a joke about it. I guess that's like 2 years old or some shit like that, but it was just forwarded to me. I didn't know if you guys had seen it, so I was just going to share it before letting you know it was not real, but it made me laugh, so.
It's a funny one.
Technos Japan, and it was distributed in North America and Europe by Taito.
Taito.
Taito. Double Dragon.
Really? Double Dragon? That sounds like Midway. Like, you got me almost convinced that that's what it was.
Midway. That's what I was thinking of, Midway. Billy Lee was one of the martial artists. That'd be a great name for a beer. Just get a real guy to dress up in kind of the same thing, and his name is Billy Lee, and he can do his fists, be all up on the label. Billy Lee. And his twin brother, Jimmy.
If you stay in that pose long enough, Skylar can Photoshop you into the label.
Oh, I'm sure that motherfucker can.
I actually saw the beer that you did that last time, which was
the Weyerbacher. Oh yeah,
when I was at the pharmacy in Michigan, I saw it and I had to tell my wife that story. I was like, it was the shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Chris is drunk.
Time for another YouTube rant.
That's best tagline ever.
Somebody just sent me a 120 because the last 120 I did a review of it, but for some reason I was so geeked about breaking down the beer and the label, I never really got into the beer that much, and I didn't realize that until after I started about 3/4 of the way through editing. I'm like, fuck, am I ever going to talk about the beer enough? So I'm like, all right, I know where I'm kind of going with this. I just didn't have enough beer. I got to this much left in my glass, which is a lot, and I slammed it and did the whole thing. And I'm like, this beer review sucks. It's just stupid now. I need to kind of take this and do it again, but I need to get another 120. So I have another 120. So that's when things mellow over here on the home front and stuff. I'm gonna come home one weekend and night, and I'm just gonna frickin' have a beer or two to get a little buzz going, and then you're gonna see this downward spiral of me doing 120. So I'm excited.
Oh, the best is if you were to go the route that Skylar went, it was 3 or 4 months ago, where we had the big not barrel aged beers with the beer cellar episode, and he had a 120 and a worldwide stout.
Oh, and he mixed them.
I mixed them.
What's that called though? What's the name for that?
Death.
It's End of the World.
End of the World, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty tasty.
Yeah. Man, that'll kick your ass though. That's what?
What did AJ do? AJ did something like that too on an episode. What did he mix together? Do you remember?
He took Hop Slam and mixed it with gummy bears in a Randall.
I think that was on Scherringer.
He did do that.
Still be up. I think the end of that whole thing is still on my YouTube channel, not my personal one, not my Mr. Liquid Bread one. I gotta I gotta look now that you say that.
But
Clay
not-
Mel was looking for it the other day. He said,
I want to see. Did he have a chili beer that he mixed something with? Because I remember we were talking about chili beers, and he pulled one out, and he had like a ghost pepper beer or something.
Yes, that was it. That was the
Ghostface Killer?
Yes. Yeah. I forget
Yeah,
what
I
he
think-
mixed it with.
That's the one. I can't remember
I don't
now.
know if I
And he
remember
called
seeing
it
that
something.
one. There's
I
a
don't know
one
if
guy
you
out there on
remember that
YouTube that
episode.
did 5 of those Ghostface Killers in a row, slammed them all at the bar.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've chugged 2 of them in a row. It's not terrible.
I would assume if you keep the fluids going through your mouth, it probably mellows it out. As soon as you stop and get some of that air on your tongue, then it starts heating up again. It's just
Oh, man. I'm thinking of the Ring of Fire on the other end of that, man.
That's true.
It's
Ring
like
of Fire.
it hurts
Johnny
bad
Cash.
that I thought I would expire.
Johnny Cash wrote that
Burn,
album
burn.
sitting in the toilet one day after Taco Bell.
All right, who should I pour first? Steely Dan or Danzig? Here?
What kinds are that's a black lager? And what's the
This
Steely
one's
Dan?
black lager. This one is a Belgian style extra pale ale. So I don't know what to.
Oh, I think you have to, if you're going to do the traditional black and tan route, you got to go with the Belgian pale first. Get a spoon and then dribble the.
Well, I'm not gonna have to get a spoon. So
I'm going
Worked
to
over nitrogen though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All right, we're
going to
going-
be a brown ale by the end of this.
Steely Dan is first. Yeah, I don't even know. The actual-
Your beer's gonna look like when I used to go to a bar early on and ask for a black and tan, and they'd come back after they put the stout in first, and I'd be like,
I actually have a Guinness spoon, but I just don't think the
"It's not gonna work. It's not.
the
It doesn't have
densities are going to be.
well, it's because it's a
density-
nitrogen and carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide lifts the nitrogen beer up off
Yeah.
of itself. And that's just,
You're getting sciencey.
yeah, I know.
Now it looks like a brown.
Oh, let's
Right.
see. Good mix.
The
on
old
your-
Steely Danzig.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, it's no
Nice.
separation, but that's cool.
It looks a lot darker on the screen than it is. It's, in the light, it looks like a Bel Air brown to me, actually.
It tastes exactly like a Bel Air Brown.
I know I've heard a billion of their songs. I cannot think of how one song goes that's made by Steely Dan. And the only Danzig song I know is Mother. So
Me too. Me too.
Oh God,
Tell
we
your
used to.
children not to walk my way. Damn it. Yeah, and the first time I ever heard that song was because of Beavis and Butthead.
Mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mother. My buddy was big into it, and they used to call the lead singer or maybe the lead singer thought this or something, that he was possessed by who's the Morrison from the '60s?
Jim Morrison.
He was possessed by Jim Morrison's soul.
You're cutting out. What's that?
He said he felt like he was possessed by Jim Morrison's soul. So I heard that back in the day.
The guy from Danzig thought he was
Yeah.
possessed by the ghost of Jim Morrison.
Like he had a soul or something like that. Let's see. Look this up. That's what I'm. My buddy was big. My buddy was out when I was out in Seattle area living out there. My buddy that was in a band was big into Danzig. Let me see if that's fake or fiction.
This does taste like a brown ale though. I can't get past like what it looks like. I guess maybe if I close my eyes, I'll be able to get better.
So maybe the better term for the beer would have been Muddy Waters.
I don't know. I like it. It's not bad.
Is
It's got it's.
Is it like a different flavor? Can you taste the individual beers within it? Is it very separate, or is
Like-
it?
Like I almost don't taste the hoppiness from the Deacon Blues anymore because that was like really, it was super prominent like by itself. But I was saying before you got on, this is like it was a roasty black lager. Like this, it really kind of actually took over the hopness. But the hoppiness is there. It's just not in the smell anymore.
Yeah.
So it's very subdued now. But yeah, it really tastes like kind of like a hoppier brown ale. It's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's so funny. And they actually instructed you to do that on the box of the 12-pack that I bought.
That's cool.
Don't believe everything you read.
Well, I mean, they did make the beer, so if I'm pretty sure that they probably made this at the like
Oh yeah.
it's kind of a little gig, a little gimmick or whatever.
Yep.
It's beer mixing. I think is getting more popular. I have a lot of people who come to my tap room and they'll mix the beers, and I'll name the mix after them or something. And I had one lady come in the other day. She's like, "Do you have an amber?" I'm like, "Man, I actually don't have an amber, but I have a brown ale and I have an Irish red. We can mix those two, and it would probably create an amber." And so we did that. It tasted fantastic. I kind of like it better than both of those individual beers.
So how would you recreate that then, like with a grain bill and a hop schedule? I mean, could you reverse engineer that, or is it one of those things where you just kind of put it together so quick? It's like, I don't know what the ratios are. I could probably do it, but it would take a few homebrew batches.
It was half and half, and really I could probably share grains from both of those beers and create like this hybrid amber. But that's not as fun.
and it's almost like a science now as far as with like sours and things like that with the blending. So why not do it with any other style too? Like why have to figure out like the grain bill or like figure out how to brew those two together to make that beer? Just blend them like you did.
Yeah.
That's kind of I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Oh, and that's always been the case. I mean, that's not really a new thing. That's going way, way back. That's there's a long tradition of that in Belgium and in England.
Yeah.
And old ales are basically sort of built on that concept.
All English beers can be mixed with each other. That's one thing I found about English beers.
Yeah.
For mixing, there's this English pub just down the street from me, and the dude that runs the place, he's this old, bitter English bastard, right? And he's super,
you gotta name your beer that now.
yeah, I know. He's super strict about what he puts on tap. He only puts on like English beers, and he has a menu where he like mixes. Sometimes he'll mix 3, 4, 5 different beers together to create this like perfectly constructed flavor. Like he'll come up to you and say, "What kind of flavor do you want tonight?" And he'll just come up with it in his head and be like, oh, "Okay, mix this, a little bit of this, top it off with this, boom." And that's the flavor you're getting. It's awesome.
That's fantastic.
There's an art to it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been around for a long time, but it's something that never caught on here, and I don't know if it's become a lost art in England or not. But at least there's some bitter old bastards out there keeping it around, so that's good.
So I'm finishing up the last little bit of this triple mashed dragon's milk, and
Yes.
it's gotten more beer tasting than port tasting now that it's warmed up. Definitely tastes like a very hot, boozy stout for sure. I mean, it's 14%, which is, it's knocking on the door of epic, I guess, if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many bottles of that did you get?
4, $17.
Oh, dude.
Is it
Yeah.
a
The other 3
pack?
just sock away. It's waiting for a day.
I
go
went
ahead.
2. I stocked 2 and I put 2 in the beer fridge, but I'm thinking that may be a 3-in-1 instead, like you were
Are
saying.
those sold in 4-packs or is it a bomber?
No, all 4-packs.
The other thing I saw when I was in Michigan was Perrin was doing some crazy. They looked barrel aged. They were
Little Grizzly.
I can't remember the names. There were 2 of them. One had like red wax in the cap.
Oh, you're talking about the bombers?
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I've got both of those, and I've had one of them at my buddy's house. They're not that good.
Yeah. That's why I didn't get it.
In fact, when I went to the beer store, I picked up a 4-pack of this thing called Little Grizzly. Or 12-ounce bottles, barrel aged by Perrin. Those of you who don't know, that is now owned by Oscar Blues.
Yep.
So I picked up a
And
4-pack.
they were
of
only
that.
open for like a year and a half before Oscar Blues picked them up. Like that's.
It's because the owner had didn't care. He was a clothing designer.
Yeah, you could tell because if you look at the merch stand at that place, it was like the fanciest looking beer gear I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like
He was something like that. I don't know if he was a fashion designer or not, but he was not in the beer industry. I think he was in some kind of textiles industry, but I don't know what he did. But
Yeah, but then he opened the brewery, so why would you do that if you weren't into? I
Business.
mean, I guess he's.
He
Yeah, I
knows
guess
it's a
yeah.
hot thing
Makes
right
sense.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I picked up that 4-pack. I picked up the 2 variants that I told you about of Dragon's Milk. I picked up a $4 bomber of New Holland that's a Brettanomyces release that they just came out with. That was like $4.99. I was like, gotta
Oh
get this.
yeah.
Wait,
No, I've been seeing that around town.
A Brett
Yeah.
what?
It's a wild sour ale. New Holland puts this out every year. It's called it's like
Indigenous and
yeah.
This one's a new one though. This one's made with Brett. It isn't made with
Yeah.
their normal sour mash.
But it's only I've seen it for $4.20 a bottle
It's cheap.
around town.
For
Is
bottle.
that the thing?
That's incredibly cheap for a Brett.
Yeah, it's incorrigible. I want to say.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
hold on, I'll get it.
I've got a 14. I've got 14 of the incorrigible. I didn't think that was as good. That Blue Sunday is their best sour.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite sours ever, and it's cheap as hell when it comes out. It's like $7 or something crazy like that.
Well, and
I've
I mean
got
that makes a lot of sense from a brewing standpoint. That I mean, they're not sitting on that stuff forever. The grain bill isn't huge. You're not using a ton of hops. It's basically comes down to yeast, and yeast is dirt cheap. You can grow as much of it as you want as soon as you get some.
That's the incorrigible. That's not what I got yesterday.
Envious. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the sour. That is a Cellar Series. It says down here. It says ale brewed with pear juice with raspberries added and aged on oak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what they've got out now. It's called Mischievous Brettanomyces fermented wild ale.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
And as you can see, $4.99.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna try that. What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Not bad. So did we all keep to the death label?
We did?
Oh,
We kept with the smoked label. I'm drinking a 2014 smoked Alaskan.
Oh, you dog.
Yeah, switch gears on you, mother chuckers.
You bitch! I'm gonna go open a Dark Lord now. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hold on. I'll put these back. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kev. We'll go down the line. Skylar, what'd you got there again?
I've got the Grateful Dead American Beauty.
Nice.
Yeah, so I thought it was perfect. And I didn't even think about it. It was just in my fridge. As soon as I opened the door, I was like, oh, this is like the one chill where I don't even have to like look through my collection. I just like grabbed it. All right.
What's the brewery?
What's that?
What's the brewery on that one?
That's a Dogfish Head.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, they did a Grateful Dead beer, and they call it American Beauty, and it's an imperial pale. They brew it with almond honey granola and all American hops. And I was telling the guys, I was like, it tastes kind of like honey bunches of oats, like on the finish. It's pretty cool.
You could have some for breakfast.
That was actually good beer. I had it this summer.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, are you still working on the pipework?
Yep, I've still got the Imperial End of Days here.
Oh, this one with the cocoa and the chilies?
Yeah, and vanilla and cinnamon.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I can grab that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's aged okay. I don't know if that means it needs to go longer, or a lot of times when you age beers, they kind of go through peaks and valleys where things change on you, and it might just be in a valley. But it's not a bad place. It's a good beer still. It's tasty. Oh, here we go.
Selfies.
I need a selfie stick. Held it up. What's up? I got 8 arms. I got built-in selfie stick.
What's up?
And then Kev, I'm doing the Twist of Cane from Shorts. I got it out of a variety pack when I was in Michigan last weekend.
Oh, wow.
So the Twist of Cane.
I see those variety packs when I was there, and I'm always tempted to grab one.
Yeah, this one had all beers I've never had, so I had to grab it. So this is the Twist of Cane is a Danzig song. I also poured half of into a taster the Deacon Blues, which is another beer from them, which is from what I understand is a Steely Dan song. So the package instructed me to mix two together, which we have here. This is the Steely Danzig which tastes a lot like a brown ale, like a hoppy brown.
Interesting.
So that's what I'm having now. I had a little taster glass of each of those two, and then pour the rest in here. So.
Oh, good. Well, I went with the local pale ale, Zombie Dust.
No, there you go. That little beer.
Just like Skylar, I was as I got home, I couldn't remember what it was, but then of course your reminder popped up and said Death Label, and I said I don't have a Death Label. And then I thought, wait a minute, I got Halloween stuff. I got to have something in there. And then I remembered I had a 6-pack of this from last week, and I still had one left. So it fit the description.
When I thought we were doing the show last week, before I remembered we were going to the movie, I had a 6-pack of that in the fridge. I was like, I'll Zombie Dust, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have a show. This is not going to last until next week. So
that's funny.
I'm glad I drank it all then. Otherwise, we would.
I'm glad I had it because the only other one that fit the bill was the Shipyard Pumpkinhead with the.
Yeah, my brother-in-law gave me the Warlock, so I haven't had that. I'm gonna probably pop that on Halloween.
Oh, I have some of that too. I've never had that either. It's a pumpkin stout. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is that, yeah, I've got a bottle I haven't had. I'll probably share it with my wife.
I would say I'd like that better than the pumpkin because it's a little more toned down, just a little bit.
Southern Tier's very intense when it comes to their bombers. It's the rest of their beers are pretty solid, but the bombers, man, they're always killer. They're really extreme. So
that's true.
How was the rest of your? How was the rest of time in Michigan?
Oh, we had a good time. We went out. The place we went for dinner had some Founders Harvest Ale on tap, which was nice. That was a nice treat. And we came home. We ended up getting that Oddside Citra Ale that you recommended.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
That was pretty good. I like that. I think we still probably have one or two of them. We had actually. The funny thing is, we went to the whatever the name of that grocery store that you were even talking about was, and all they had was one 6-pack left, and it turned out to be a 5-pack. There's 5 bottles in it.
No, I put that one back.
No.
I grabbed that one, and I was like, "Oh, it's a 5-pack."
Yeah, well, I got it.
Grab the other one.
I just took a bottle of the kind next to it that was the same price and filled the 6th spot with what ended up being, I've forgotten now, it was some sort of blonde ale with coffee, so I have no idea what I'm going to get with that.
That's hilarious.
This bean flicker.
Oh yeah, the bean flicker.
Which, if you don't know what that is, Google it and do it when no one's around.
DJ did it.
Just saying. Just like me, the first time I heard Nicki Minaj sing about truffle butter, I was like, "What the hell's truffle butter? I like this song." And so I Googled it and was like, "Oh my god." I thought that 2 Live Crew was bad. I was like, "Geez, this is a new decade, new millennium."
Now I'm afraid because I obviously know what a bean flicker is. I don't know what truffle butter is. Now I'm gonna have to go.
Open up Chrome in incognito mode, do a quick search, and then get out what you can. Don't do the work.
So that's cool. You had dinner. So what did you think of Tapestry? You said you thought it was pretty good from the.
I was impressed.
You told me
yeah, I liked it. We had lunch there too, and the food was above par. We were impressed by the food. We had a what do you call that? A taster, a flight of 5 beers of our choosing. I was actually most impressed, and that this is a superficial thing to be impressed by, but I was impressed by the variety of styles that they had on tap. It was like they had a whole, sometimes you go places and they got an IPA and they got a porter and they've got a pale ale and a blonde ale and this was like I'm not gonna be able to rat them all out, but they had a 10% pumpkin ale and they had their anniversary ale, which was like a Belgian strong ale.
Wait, was this Tapestry?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I can name some of them because I think we were there like a week before.
Oh, that's right. I saw you were there. Yeah, we were there on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. You went to Mega Bev.
That's right. I did.
Was that a good call or no?
That was a good call. You're welcome.
Now, what's that? What's Mega Bev?
Mega Bev is it's a big box beer store, liquor store up in Michigan. It's kind of like the Benny's of Southwest Michigan. And yeah, it was nice. Actually, it was kind of scary because I went in there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of think out what I want to get before I go in here, so we can just go in and get out because we had a birthday party that my brother's daughter's son was having a birthday. So my great nephew, I guess, would be. Yeah, I know. I had to do the math on that too.
Is that a grandnephew?
Yeah. Yes,
I'll look it
I
up.
do. Okay. Anyway, so so I knew we only had a little bit of time to go in, buy a beer, get out. So I go there, I look at the Michigan section, and it's just like, ah, Jesus, God! It's just, because I only saw like about one half of the shelf, and it kept going, and I could already look down to the end and see. I don't think that's all the Michigan beers that they have because I'm not even seeing Bell's yet. So it was they had a good selection. It was a good selection. If you're ever in Kalamazoo, definitely check that out. I don't know how the one in Portage is.
It's small. The one in Battle Creek's big, but it's probably half the size, quarter of the size of the one in Kalamazoo. It's just because Kalamazoo bought it or rented that place out. And it used to be a carpet warehouse, so that they just those places we walk in and they just got the rolls of carpet, and they've got to have this massive yeah, we could play basketball here, but we're not. We're selling carpet type of place. And they went out of business. They bought this and decided to put beer. And there's plenty of place for more beer even. Yeah, if you walk down that first aisle where all the Michigan beer is, at the end up against the walls where all the overseas Belgian English beers are. And then if you came around the corner, came back is where you're getting into the California Lagunitas, Stone, stuff like that. But on that, what's awesome is when you make that turn, you start going back up the next aisle. If you look off to the right, on the back of the cooler, they've got a rack, and there's some beers in there. But on the top shelf, they put some whack beers that aren't maybe the greatest, but they're the cheapos. That's where that Lagunitas gnarly wine was, just sitting up there buried. No one knew it was up in the corner. You turn the corner and deer in headlights, and you don't look up on the top shelf on the right at all. I've gotten a couple Albedas up there that are the bourbon barrel-aged hazelnut, pecan and stuff like that, which
Those
are
are
great.
alright.
But they're $5 or $6, and they're sitting up there, and they're just it's like the discount Walmart rack where no one looks, and you're like, oh, look at this! It's a shirt that actually fits me and looks good. It's only $5.
Exactly. But no, with Tapestry, I remember Burn the Witch was the one was one of the beers. They had did they have the Java stout while you were there?
They did. I didn't have it.
Okay, it was good, but it was very, very. You actually got a sentiment of cocoa powder at the bottom of your cup at the end.
Wow.
They had the Rice Reaper. That was their Imperial
didn't have that.
or Imperial IPA. That's a good beer.
Yeah,
that's a solid beer.
Wasn't as good as Drippa.
Yeah.
But by these guys.
Okay. Stop doing that, man. You're freaking me out.
I was trying to do the Coonins at the bottom.
I know. But then, what was it? They also had a Nelson Sauvin. I don't know if it was a pale or IPA. That was not that great. And Mr. Orange was another one that was kind of okay. I think that was a wit beer. Yeah.
Something, obviously Citra Pale Ale or IPA. It was good.
That sounded familiar. I think that was one we got. That was
had a Harvest Ale that was okay. It wasn't memorable, but it was good.
Yeah. I mean, what was your impression, sort of overall, as far as their beers go, and sort of the range of quality?
I thought it was. Now I'm going to say middle of the road for everywhere we go, but that's pretty good.
I call it the poor man's Greenbush because it's so close.
Yeah, I would say it's not. The quality wasn't as good as Greenbush. The food was. I've had, not that the food at Greenbush was bad, but I had a better sandwich at Tapestry.
Tapestry had really good food. Yeah.
And how was the crowd?
Nice.
The crowd was fine because it was there was a bachelor party and then another party that was all 20-something girls. And
the variety yoga pants were phenomenal.
It was pretty good for what it was 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
And then you guys went to Greenbush that same day, didn't you?
Yeah, we went straight from there to Greenbush.
So how was the crowd there?
It was pretty good. I mean, we were out. It was nice because we were still outside. We were out at the annex.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, you're lucky.
Just good enough to be outside.
Yeah.
But so we didn't go.
Nice.
Packed across the street.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that place,
Yeah,
last time
that
I was at
annex
Greenbush,
is
it's just
cool.
it's just so packed when you could only go into the bar.
Right.
So that's why we would fall back to Tapestry.
Oh, I see. Because if Greenbush is too crowded,
Yeah, we're like,
I'd rather
screw it,
be-
just drive up 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we're at Tapestry. And
Definitely
yeah, the
better
beers
than
aren't as
at
good, but
Greenbush where I can't sit down.
And actually, that reminds me because we did actually try to hit Greenbush for dinner on the way back because we basically went up to Michigan and came back the same day. And it's not a horrible place, but I do not recommend. You know how you always kind of walk by the pub that's right next to Greenbush as you're going to and from that parking lot, and you're kind of like, huh, I wonder what the food's like. I don't care, I'm going to Greenbush. Well, we went to Greenbush and they said, oh, there's an hour wait for a party of 8. I don't care, I'm going next door. And it wasn't a mistake, but it's not as good a food. So if you're looking for that to be sort of your safety valve, don't go there. I can't strongly recommend it.
Meaning the beer's not good or the food's not good?
The food. I mean, the food isn't bad. It's just, you've got expectations of Greenbush barbecue, and then you get this. And it's priced more than it probably needs to be, and it's not bad. It's actually okay. It's decent. But you're kind of like, I would rather be at Greenbush.
Now, I just went to, last week on Thursday, I went to Hopcat Ann Arbor. And I'll tell you what, I like that one much better than the Grand Rapids one. It's for a lunchtime crowd on a Thursday, I can imagine that Hopcat in Grand Rapids is probably pretty packed. It was dead in Ann Arbor, and I heard it Friday nights and on. It's packed in the weekend. Just a little bit quieter. And I had 2 livery beers there, both of them bourbon barrel aged, and both of them were pretty damn good for livery. No one talks about livery.
Oh, livery's great.
I was just going to mention livery because that was earlier in the day. We were thinking of heading up there before we saw Mike and before we got a late start because we slept in because the kids weren't here. We were thinking of going up there and stopping at livery too. Because I've only been that once, and remember I was the driver, so I only had a couple half beers. But I remember,
and their list is always huge. Like their tap list is very extensive. There's always a number of beers on.
And they had 2 beers on the hand with the hand pull. It was like they just had it's so much.
Yeah. No, and I have to say that if you're putting livery up against Tapestry, because they are kind of vaguely comparable geographically and in terms of how much they've got on tap and all that, the livery definitely comes out on top. I mean, there's no question.
I think
the only thing bad about the livery is the location. It's not like
that's true.
Area.
If you're complaining about that, you can't say 18th Street or whatever in Gary's any better, right? I've never been there, but I'm just assuming.
But
Look, I don't care about that.
When I vacation in Michigan every year, we're usually like 10 minutes from Greenbush, which you can stay close to it. When you go to the livery, there's really not anywhere to stay within without having to drive in a car. Is what I'm saying. That's the only bad part about it. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying about it.
No, I get it. Yeah, but I mean, if you're going in there for like a lunch, and you're just gonna have a couple, and you're gonna be driving on somewhere anyway. If I were to pick livery or Tapestry, I would definitely go livery. I think in terms of quality. Although I have to say the food at Tapestry definitely better. I mean,
to say the only food I remember at livery was when Mike's brother got like a frozen pizza.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a trade-off there.
The atmosphere I think at livery is a little bit better just because it's that old livery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funky in there.
See, I'm really curious how that place is like on a Saturday night because they have that. Because I've only hung out on the downstairs bar, and then I take that back. The last time we were there, we were upstairs for my bachelor party. We were up there, and there was like a huge room with a stage and all that stuff.
There's a downstairs there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The downstairs is really the only place I've ever been at the livery up until that time we were there.
No kidding.
Like every other time is in the basement, and it's another nice little room, but it's tiny compared to what's upstairs. Because upstairs there's like a balcony that surrounds the whole upstairs area, looking down on the stage, and there's music and bands that are always there on weekends. I've never been there on a Saturday or a weekend, night to see what it's like, but it looked like it would be a really fun place to me. And there's there's an outside like little patio to the back of it too that you can sit outside. I've only been there in the winter, so I've never been out there before.
Yeah, it's nice, definitely.
I always forget about delivery. Unless you're going up to like St. Joe or something like that, it's like right over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're getting kind of close. We're actually past the hour. So what do we want to drink next week, guys? I don't have the wheel on me.
We're going wheelless again. It's becoming a new animal.
Yeah, until I get a new tablet, the baby kind of uses that as her sleep machine there.
She's in there just like she's in there just spitting shit, going, "I can't wait to drink this shit when I'm 21."
She loved Greenbush, by the way.
A quick funny story. The girls who took our picture there, Mike and his wife and me and my wife, they took our picture with the baby, and they said, "Oh, baby's first brewery." And Mike said, "You'd think so."
It's true, because 2 weeks before I was at Half Acre with her. All right, so what do we want to drink? It's going to be past Halloween. Will be in November now, so I don't know if there's anything style-wise you guys want to hit. Have we done barley wines lately? I can't remember if that was on the
I don't think
Done it
lately.
for a while.
I could get real nichey here and say it's Movember. Grab a beer that has something to do with a mustache.
Ooh.
I like
The
that.
mustache beer?
Mike's already going to be all about shorts, so that'll be done.
That's
Might have to get
I don't even-
creative.
Yeah.
I can't get my hands on hop stash, so I don't know. That's out of style at this point.
I was going to say, the only other one I can think of is that beard beer from was it Rogue?
I have a
The one made with yeast that
Captured
come
in
out
the
of the guy's
beard.
beard.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't literally have to do with a mustache. Or
No,
a
you can
beard,
see a mustache. You have a guy with a mustache on the label or something.
Yeah.
Just have a cool label with a. Yeah, I like it. Let's do a mustache,
right.
mustache beard.
That's
All right,
what-
everybody bring not your father's root beer.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes.
Skylar is waiting for that.
I saw him turn the.
I win this feels. I can't do that, so.
I saw him. I feel like I have to stop it now.
We're laughing.
Get your hands on the gong button again in a second. No, I saw you turn the app on, and I was like, yes. When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it?
I was waiting.
All right, we are going to be drinking Movember beers next week. Mustaches. Feel free to grow them if you got them. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for jumping on this week, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Cheers.
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 Have
Smoke
a
beers.
touch. Time to say goodbye.